So my name's Bill Warren, no signal. Yeah, that is not our logo. There we go. Yes, that actually says what we do. Though no signal, I think, is the signal that most of us feel like we're getting from US politicians nowadays. So that's what we're here to fix, is using blockchain to fix politics, starting in the US, because I think we can all agree that at this moment in time, politics is broken. It's certainly broken here in the US, right? There's a sense that corporations and billionaires and people with money and extreme amounts of resources have been able to take over the system. And instead of politicians being responsive to the issues and causes that matter to ordinary people, they pay lip service to those while taking, at least in our system, large amounts of money from lobbyists and big donors at these nice rubber chicken dinners.
What's that?
And those are the people that get FaceTime, and those are the people who get response from the politicians and who are heard. So we think we can solve this system by using this magical little technology called blockchain. Right? Blockchain is pretty good at disintermediating middle people. In 2008, Bitcoin came about, or slightly after 2008, as a response to the financial crisis, where there was this loss in faith in central banks and bankers. Bitcoin created a system to allow people to trade money outside of the central banking system, outside of the normal routes and pathways of finance. Ethereum is an even cooler tool, in our opinion, because it allows you to program money or program influence and resources in a way that's much more flexible. So we think that if you look at the US political system, what are lobbyists, what are fundraisers? Well, they're really just DC's version of bankers. They're good at going out to a bunch of wealthy people, just like bankers do in the capital markets, collecting pools of money and then giving it to politicians in favor or in exchange for support on the issues that matter to them, right? Our goal is to use blockchain and the power of people to return power back to ordinary individuals. Does my computer keep on falling asleep? So there we go. So a little bit about my backstory is prior to this and a couple years ago, I was one of the people working in the broken system. I worked in campaign finance. I saw the down and dirty truth of how money and politics works, right? I saw people refer to checks of under $250 as poor people money. And I saw that even when a campaign, and I won't mention which one, was driven by this grassroots movement, this following with small donations, all of these letters that people would send in with their $10 checks would end up in my office in DC in an effort to make sure that that $10 got to the bank as efficiently as possible. The candidate running never saw the letter that somebody took time to write and express, like, this is why you're getting my $10. I don't care about you, but I care about the fact that you are going to do something about the economy or women's rights or the environment, whatever issue was important to that person and driving it. And these whys weren't getting heard. And that's what eventually motivated my team to come together, is how do we build a system that both allows people to aggregate capital and then do it in such a way that makes sure the politicians hear the why. And so our solution is pretty simple, because there are a lot of great kind of like big blockchain voting ideas. Democracy Earth is a great example of really a futuristic approach to blockchain-based voting. We're using blockchain-based voting to try and make change happen now and disrupt the current political finance system by It's a simple solution. Anybody can come to our platform, assuming that you're allowed to give money in the US, and pledge $5 to an issue or a cause or a goal that matters to you. It could be the environment, climate change stuff. It could be women's rights. It could be criminal justice reform. It could be dump Trump, keep Trump, whatever. You find your peeps, you find your goal, and then you pledge $5. And that $5 gets you some tokens. And with those tokens, you are now part of the community that gets to decide where that money goes. We think that giving people tokens and allowing them to vote on who gets this pool of aggregated committed capital will do two things. One, it'll democratize the campaign finance system. And two, it'll get the politicians' attention because now there's an element and a benefit of competing to be the best on an issue, to be seen as the true champion of the environment or criminal justice reform. Because you know, if you win the election, or you're, in our case, in the top 3 in these elections that take place, there are hopefully thousands, if not more, people out there that have said, I'll give you $5. And then beyond that, they've signaled like, I care enough to give you $5, so you know I'm probably going to go vote if I'm in your district, or go volunteer, or be a resource to you. And this is where we think it's important to start. We're flipping the current campaign finance system, hopefully on its head, turning Citizens United into United Citizens, and we're using blockchain-based voting to allow these communities to naturally form online and self-govern themselves, which I think is where there's a lot of potential for blockchain to revolutionize the way people come together, govern, set goals and purposes, and make sure that it's all done in a transparent way that allows for more democratic institutions and more participation at all levels. So right now, we are in the phase of finishing up our MVP. We'll be launching in a couple weeks, and we hope that all of you will go to our website, which is no longer showing, and visit www.WeThePeeps.us. If you pick up a sticker, our website is right on that. We're looking for users who care. We're looking for people like you guys who are also blockchain oriented, because we think that we can create a powerful movement of people that say, we're committed not only to these issues, but to a more democratic approach to politics and to campaign finance. And that's what's going to change the system. That's what's going to get the attention of people in DC now and start moving us towards a generally more democratic future. Because whereas politics is the place we start, we think this has potential not only to upend the lobbyists and PACs, but to create a future with micro-political parties so that people come together and find candidates based on issues. We think that we can go beyond just $5 donations and start letting people aggregate larger pools of capital to spend as they see fit using our voting protocol, and know that when capital is allocated to a goal or a purpose or a vendor that will help them achieve that goal or purpose, that that's done in a verifiable way by the community. And we think even going outside kind of the politics, social impact sphere, we can take the sharing economy one more step further by giving people a way to come together around some sort of shared idea, some sort of shared dream, put some money behind it, and then, again, spend that money in a way that reflects the values of the community, the true and shared goals of the community, so that we're truly powering democracies, both big and small. And that's our goal at the end of the day, is to use these tools around blockchain-based voting to play with some of the liquid democracy concepts that are getting people excited, like quadratic voting, delegated voting, to really change the landscape of how people come together, organize, and govern themselves. Because at the end of the day, what matters is what you care about, not what the big corporations care about, not what the lobbyists care about, or the bankers. It's all about you. And so we are trying to create a future where your voice matters, the community matters, and everybody can participate.